just heading into the gym and had some thoughts about, hey, where's all my friends? About what it is like when I go into the gym now. So when I used to compete or was bodybuilding, I did own my own gym for a little over a year, and I do enjoy just lifting, but the problem is when you have been in that type of like atmosphere for so long, and that you've done what it takes to actually facilitate the growth and the type of training that you actually need to do, and once you kind of figure out what works best for you, it's hard not to do that and get stuck in that routine. So when you go in and you know that, I know how hard I have to push it to be able to grow, but I also know how hard I can push it and still recover. If you don't have a coach that can kind of assess how well your training and what your type of tolerance is for that type of training and recovery, it's sometimes it's kind of hard to figure it out by yourself, because honestly a lot of people are just not truthful about how they feel, or they're not truthful about how hard they're really pushing themselves. I have a lot of clients that start off and say, well, I did this exercise, but I did 10 reps. And then I ask them, I'm like, well, why did you do 10 reps? Because our plan specifically says 8 reps. Like, that's the max that you should be able to do, not the max that you should just be doing. So that thought process of going into the gym and saying, okay, well, my plan says that I just need to end at 8 reps. That's not the goal. The goal is to be able to barely make it to 8 reps and getting that 8th rep in before you completely fail and not being able to do it again. And I hear a lot of people saying that they train to failure, or they get to failure and then they do, drop sets after that, or they do, forced reps and this and that. Guys, you don't need to go past the threshold of what's needed for the stimulus. If you continue to push past the threshold like that and do those type of forced reps, drop sets, more sets past failure, going to 6 sets, all that stuff, you're not doing anything except for hindering your growth and performance the next time you go into the gym. So you need to take a step back and realize what it is that you can do every single week and still continue to make progress. So with that being said, I know how hard I have to push it. I know how hard I can push it. I know what I can recover from and all that sort of stuff. And especially now, I don't make a big deal about it being natural, just being the fact, or the given fact that I am still, which is nice, because my strength and everything is still on par from when I was not natural, and still competing. So it's nice to be able to have that strength, but honestly the recovery isn't there. So for me, it's not very advantageous to go into the gym and completely destroy myself like I would be able to and recover from if I was still on gear. Your body breaks down muscle tissue very easily, and it's not something that you really want to have happen, because you're not gonna be able to recover from it every single time that you do that. So I've had to figure out how hard I can push it and how much I need to back off still. And honestly, my goal is not really to be as big as I was when I stopped. And see if I can maybe add some clips in here from where I was when I stopped. And you know, me saying it out loud, being 230 to 240 pounds, generally walking around when I was on gear. And it's not just because I was on gear, it was because that was my life. That's all that I did. I lived it. You know, I didn't do anything else. I owned my own gym. I had everything I needed. I didn't have to work for a living at all. I ate every single meal that I needed to. I had everything I needed to. And a lot of people don't have that type of atmosphere. You know what I mean? So, a lot of people kind of just need to step back when they go in the gym and understand where they're at and be serious with themselves, in both ways. Be serious about going into the gym and understanding that if it's not your job and you don't have to look a certain way or maintain a certain physique, you know, all that sort of stuff, then you're not going to push yourself as hard as it would be someone that is or does. You know, but on the flip side too, a lot of people really need to understand that going in and flexing in the mirror and taking videos, you know, it's just, it kind of drives me crazy, because it's like, even when I was 240 pounds and 10% body fat and jacked, and it's crazy because I look back at the pictures, and at that time when I was doing it, I didn't feel big. You know, I didn't think in my mind like, dude, I'm freaking jacked and huge, even though I was. But I just didn't have that. I didn't even have that confidence in my mind to take my shirt off in the gym. And which is crazy, because if I post these pictures and I show you guys, you know, most of the people that don't know me from my past, I mean, it's wild to look back and think, in my mind, I was thinking that I don't look good enough. You know, there's no way that I'm big enough. You know, I'm not lean enough. Oh, I'm not defined enough, or oh, this is lagging. It was never good enough, and it never was good enough, you know, for me to be satisfied. And now I see people that are like 140 pounds that have been hitting the gym for a month, and they're posing like they've been doing it for 15 years, you know, and I'm like, I just don't get it. But irregardless, this whole rant was just to say that, you know, if you know how much you need to do in the gym, it's very easy to get done exactly the right amount that you need to do to continue progress. And you know, if you guys do need help with that, or you guys are interested in actually making progress, I'm here to help and, you know, get you guys to that level, because I truly want to give out good information. You know, I don't want to give out information that's just like, oh yeah, we can add 50 pounds of muscle in, you know, a couple months or something like that. You know, that's not obtainable. But what is obtainable is doing the exact right amount that you need to do to continue that stimulus and continue that growth. And that's really what I want to help people do. But ultimately, if you guys have any questions, always drop them below. Of course, there's a lot of criticism that has been coming about gyno and all that sort of stuff. Like I said, if you haven't followed me, then you don't really know my story about taking, you know, all the pro hormones back when I was a kid and never getting surgery. I competed with gyno, all my shows, you can see it and all that sort of stuff. It's not something that I'm proud of, but it's also something that I never had fixed with surgery. And it's kind of also one of the reasons, honestly, right now, that is why I don't want to bodybuild again, because it's still not taken care of. And it is something that bothers me. It's something that bothers a lot of people in the industry, whether you're on gear or not. I mean, you know, if it gets to a point where, you know, it's when it's visible all the time, you you just can't avoid it. You know, that there's nothing that you can do to get rid of it at all. No matter how lean you get, it just gets more visible. The only way to get rid of it is surgery, and obviously insurance doesn't cover that. And a lot of kids these days, it's funny, they think it's funny to make fun of it. They think it's funny to to say stupid comments and things like that to try to get people worked up. But the truth of the matter is, in bodybuilding, it's not just physically how you look, it's also mentally how you feel. Bodybuilding is very tough in the aspect of all ways. Once you start getting into the whole deep dark side of bodybuilding, unless you've been there, you wouldn't understand. And kids don't care these days. They think it's funny. They think that they have no repercussions, or oh, it wouldn't happen to me, or oh, I'll be naughty and I'll never take gear, or this and that. And they're just they don't know what they want, and they're not true with themselves, and they'll never be at a level to even have to understand even what I'm talking about. So for you guys that are in the bodybuilding world, that are trying to make progress, that does have something like that going on, just know that there's a ton of other people out there like it. So and I myself am one of them. I've had to deal with it for pretty much my entire life since I was 19 years old, and at that time I didn't care. I didn't know what was going on. So I just kind of wanted to get on. I'm driving to the gym right now, so I just had some free time, and just wanted to let you guys know about that. So hit me up, drop a comment below if you have any questions, and I'm happy to help you guys out, and we'll talk to you guys later.